All right, everybody, we are back. Welcome back to WCOBM. This is Variety Talk live in Las Vegas, and we are live this afternoon. I am your host, Lady Linda, and what a special day. We are honoring Mr. Lamont McLemore of who? The Fifth Dimension. Yes, everybody, this is the day. And in case you haven't noticed, I am geeked out. I've dropped stuff on the floor. I've done all kinds of stuff since I've because I'm just too excited. So again, thank you for joining us. What a beautiful story you left us with on the first half about how everybody got started. That is just amazing, and I don't know about anybody else out there, but Fifth Dimension was the very first group I ever remember. And so that's about it for me. Everything else is a blank. So that's why you're so important. You are a landmark, and just as you told us, you were the very first ones, along with Diana Ross, to even headline. So everybody, just listen to this bit of history. It's off the chain. We had a picture of Frank Sinatra for those who are just tuning in. And this gentleman actually, you told us about how he broke the color barrier. Yeah. And actually, I'm going to show this again. This is Marilyn McCoo. And why don't you give us the names of everybody, just for the youngins,
Well, the two girls are Marilyn McCoo and Florence LaRue.
All right.
The guys are Ron Townsend, Billy Davis Jr., and myself.
All right. And moi, yours truly. Well, that picture is just definitely just awesome. And we've got somebody on the phone with us now that we've had that little bit of history. And you know what else? The Friends of Distinction, that was another favorite of mine, Right. And I love it more now than I did back in the day. I had older sisters. That's how I know about all this. Right? So, but I remember the song, I Really Hope You Do, by the Friends of Distinction. Oh, man, that was great.
Well, he was my roommate for 20 years. So
Really? What a voice. And so here's the thing, and I want to summarize a little bit, and we've got a surprise on the phone, so we're going to get to that. I wanted to talk about the fact that you worked at Motown as a photographer, and you had that dream, and God just showed you, okay, this is what you put together. You were obedient, you followed, and that's how the Fifth Dimension was formulated.
Well, the dream was just too real. I mean, I could see it put together and everything. So, and I wrote a song, and the same thing happened, and it's called Ceasefire. And I got up in the middle of the night, and my wife said, "What are you doing again?" I said, "I don't know." My hand just started writing, and this song, I do the preface in the beginning of it, and it says that there is a weapon of mass destruction, and it's easy to find. Just look in the mirror, because it's us, mankind. Boom, when the song starts.
Well, you know what, Scotty? As long as we're on it, and I know we got our surprise on the phone. Do you have that up?
The song?
Yeah. All right. So you know what? Why don't we just check it out? Hear a little bit of "Ceasefire," everybody, by Mr. Lamont McLemore.
There is a weapon of mass destruction, and it's easy to find. Just look in the mirror, because it's us, mankind.
Ceasefire, say it loud enough. Ceasefire, can't say it enough. Just 2 words, ceasefire, can mean so much. 2 words can bring wars to a halt. Who's to blame? We're all at fault. No one's born with a gun in hand. What happens when we become woman and man? Without greed and prejudice, we're born. It's the reason so many lives are torn. There's a fate for hate, it's not heaven's gate. That's the message, let's get it straight. Words can hurt as much as a wound, but God's word can lift spirits to the moon. Ceasefire, lay your weapons down, free all the hands that we bound. Let Wars bring death and destruction. With peace and freedom comes construction. Ooh, let's have welfare and not warfare. No, no. Stop using religion as an excuse. Stop using it for all the abuse.
It's not complicated. What is it about peace that you don't understand? It's coming down to the wire. So before it's too late, cease fire. Cease fire. Cease fire.
Wow. Ceasefire. Oh my goodness.
You should see the video with it.
Oh wow. Everybody. Okay, so don't forget those terms right there. You know what? The feeling, the song, everything is it's magical. It really is.
The way people call me crying, that's all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can feel it. You can feel that, and it's so you stole my thunder because I didn't get a chance to introduce it first. I'm glad you got to it first.
All right. Well,
because we've got a couple things to talk about. Not only that beautiful song, "Ceasefire," everyone, "Ceasefire" by Lamont McLemore, but we also want to talk about your wonderful book. So there's a lot to talk about on this party this afternoon, but before we get started, we have a wonderful person who has been patiently waiting on the phone. And why don't you introduce this gentleman?
Well, this young man is one of my best friends over years and years and years, and people might know him from Little Anthony and the Imperials. His name is Clarence Collins. He's one of the founders of the Imperials. So, and he's on the air now, and thank you for calling in there, Clarence.
Oh man, it's a pleasure.
Well, it's just wonderful to have you on, Clarence. First of all, thank you for your beautiful patience because we had to check out Ceasefire. I'm going to tell you, it's been a long time in coming, and we've been talking about that. So there's a lot of magic wrapped around Ceasefire, and we'll talk about it later. But secondly, it's an honor. Thank you so much for calling and sharing all of the celebratory things that we have to talk about and share today with the man himself, Mr. Lamont. So just why don't you just give us a few words of how you know Lamont, and I know you want to share and say congratulations on all the wonderful work that he's been doing with his book and the music and the song, and yeah, just talk to us.
Well, Lamont McLemore has been a friend of mine for many, many years. He was also with a great group, the Fifth Dimension. He also he did a lot of great photography work, even with us. And I happen to be very fortunate to see some video last week, or this week, I can't remember. Well, yeah, last week. And it was fabulous. The song is fabulous.
It
The
is.
video it is so amazing, and I'm really proud of him. You know, I've been proud of him my whole life. He is a great guy. He's my brother. You understand? And I wish him all the best in everything that he does. Again, my name is Clarence Collins, and I'm the guy that created Little Anthony and the Girls back in 1492. But I'm no longer.
Did he say 1492? We caught that, Clarence. And you know what? That was really cute. And let me just say this. Again, I have older sisters, okay? But that's how I know about you guys and everything, the Friends of Distinction. But Little Anthony and Period, you guys were just as much of a landmark also. And I mean, just the groups that came out in those days, I mean, that's when music was music, and you can't even begin to compare what you did. So congratulations to you as well for formulating the group Little Anthony and the Imperials. You were going to say something. Go right ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I myself, I'm on a campaign right now of getting the Fifth Dimension inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I called a couple of people already, and they're looking into that. They should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame years ago. And I actually thought they were, and Lamont told me that he wasn't. So I'm on a campaign of getting them inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Awesome. You know what? We can't wait to hear the update and the news, and I know it's going to be done. And I just can't say enough about Lamont and the Fifth Dimension. And I'm sitting here teary-eyed after he told me the story of how he actually formulated the group. And it's just pretty awesome. So did you guys ever play together in the same venues?
Yep.
You did?
Oh, absolutely.
What was that like?
Oh, it was fabulous, man.
Lots of fun, huh?
Right. Friendly competition. I mean, whoever went on first said, "Okay, we got ours. Now get yours."
So tell us how.
About back in those days, and it was beautiful too. It was very, very, especially when you know each other. You know, it's always good.
Oh, absolutely.
Worked well for everybody. You know.
Yes. Now, what was your first song, Little Anthony? I'm Little Anthony. You got me calling you Little Anthony.
No, I'm not that ugly.
I'm not that ugly.
Our first record was Tears on My Pillow.
Well, I'm sorry. Could you say it again?
Tears on My Pillow.
Oh, Tears on My Pillow.
One of my favorite songs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. So did you write that as well?
No, I didn't write it. A couple of gentlemen back in New York City wrote the song. Al Lewis, Sylvester Prophet, and then another gentleman that wrote Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop. His name was Bob Smith.
Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Pop. Wow.
Right.
OMG.
It hurt so bad. They were all written by Teddy Randazzo.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Again, we're running out of time, and we're just about to close out this segment. Clarence, thank you for coming on and joining us and sharing that little bit of history and in the joy of this celebration today with Lamont. And we're going to take another quick station break, everybody. You're sitting in on WCOBM. This is Variety Talk live in Las Vegas. We'll be right back.